back to lesson 7 of our story writing cycle, where we'll be writing now our version of Killer Corn. So last lesson you wrote your plans. So let's take a look at the plans, the post-it notes that you're going to be writing today. So you're going to write this one. You're going to have your title if you can think of one. You're going to think about your children's names. Where are they and which creature they're searching for, and you're going to include some dialogue. Then you're going to describe the setting in a separate paragraph, and you're going to think about smells, sounds, sights, tastes and touch. Obviously you can't do all of those, but we're looking for a good 3. And then you're going to describe the creature appearing. So I'm going to now, with you, read through the story Killer Corn for those 3 parts. So this story begins with some dialogue. Beginning a story with dialogue is a really good technique because it takes you straight in to the action. So come on, Fred, called Megan, excitement sparkling in her sapphire eyes. So you could have one of your characters asking the other one to come on, or let's go this way, or maybe over here. Now, here we've got the first paragraph. As the siblings trudged through the gloomy forest, Fred's heart sank. His younger sister had begged him to bring her to the woodland after reading a legend about a unicorn spotted there. Finally, several irritating days of whining and pleading later, he yielded. Now as night threw its shadowy cloak upon the world, Fred questioned the wisdom of his decision. This first paragraph explains why. Why are the characters there? In this story, the younger sister has persuaded her older brother to take her to this place. Then we have a little bit more dialogue. Hurry up, I'm coming, he shouted back in a frustrated voice. Notice how when we have dialogue, we start a new line for new speaker. And then we have this really nice paragraph where we describe the setting. Soon after, they stepped into the glade. A glade is a clearing of trees in the middle of a forest. From above, the moon bathed everything in a ghostly silver light. Small creatures rustled in the undergrowth, and nearby a solitary owl hooted eerily. Like furry spitfires, bats swooped and swerved as they hunted nocturnal insects, squeaking in delight. The unpleasant odour of decaying leaves hung on the air. So let's take another look. We've got our opening dialogue. We've got our reason why they're there paragraph, a little bit more dialogue, and then we have our description of where they are. Then we move on to another bit more dialogue, where they basically are talking about what they're looking for. And then you have, suddenly some nearby shrubs began to shake. Then the unmistakable sound of a horse's neighing echoed in the night. In response, Megan's features became more animated as she scanned the darkness in anticipation. So then what happens in the plot? The creature is starting to appear. But then we have where we're going to get up to, the description of the creature. If you are having your story where you have a traditionally nice creature, which turns out to be awful, what you can do is you can try, for example, if you've got a mermaid, an evil mermaid. If you've got a gnome, an evil gnome. So the description has to be really, really terrifying. Just then, a creature emerged from the greenery and stopped behind the excited girl. Fred's eyes widened in horror. His sister was correct. It was a unicorn, yet this terrifying beast was unlike anything he had ever seen. With a coat the colour of midnight, it was a powerful stallion. So a stallion's a male horse. Its malevolent red eyes burned like the fires of hell. However, it was the twisted horn which sent a shiver down the boy's spine. It was razor sharp and dripping with blood. So let's think about this. Last lesson, you had a practice before the planning lesson, a practice of describing a creature and the reaction of a character. So you've already practiced how to do this. One of your characters is going to see this and it's going to scare them and you're going to describe it. You also had a practice of describing a setting. and we've had lots of practice of dialogue. Your job today is to put all of those things together. So before we end, let's take one last look. Who are the children? Where are they? What are they looking for? Dialogue. Describe the setting. And then describe the creature. And I'm looking for paragraphs. And then next lesson, we will finish off with the action of how your characters escape. So thanks for taking part in this lesson, and I'm really excited to read what you have done today.